Hello, welcome to this lesson where we want to look at the statistics, the question from the past exam paper, Examinations Council of Zambia, 2018. Please make sure that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you do subscribe because we are providing lessons from grade 8 up to 12 to make sure that we help you pass the exam. So now let's copy down this question for those of you that are following these lessons, and you have to write down so you copy this question, okay? You write down this question. Down here, as you have seen, I've added two more questions that will just give us a platform where we should know what is supposed to be done also in this case. All right, so let's get started now. Let's get started. A farmer planted 60 fruit trees. In a certain month, the number of fruits per tree was recorded, and the results were as shown in the table below. So let us interpret what is being discussed here. And I want to mention that this is one type of grouped data. So it means, like here, fruits per tree. These are fruits, okay? Fruits per tree. So it means amongst those 60 fruit trees, one of them only had 2 fruits. Then the 5 of them, each of the 5 had 3 fruits. Then 4 trees each one of them had 4 fruits. Then 6 trees, each one of them had what? Up to the end where we are saying 18 fruit trees. 18 trees, each one of them had how many fruits? 8 fruits. That's the interpretation of this table. So let's go straight to the first part of the question. Calculate the standard deviation. As you have seen, or as you can see clearly, this is a question that carries 6 marks in each exam. And it's one of the questions that you cannot afford to fail. Okay? It's one of the questions that where you get marks for free. So I want you to look at this question. I want you to pay particular attention to this question. This is grouped data, okay? I hope you're able to see this question, and I want to give you something that is, this is grouped data, and we also have another type of grouped data. Look at this one. This is as well grouped data, except that this one, it is given in range, okay? You have got an interval here. You've got an interval, but it is still grouped data, except that here we are saying those that got 10 marks up to 15 marks. That's the meaning. 10 marks up to 15 marks. But this is also still grouped data. I just want to emphasize the difference, because sometimes people would think this is not grouped data. This could have been in this form where they say the trees that had maybe 2 fruits up to 5 fruits. Then you bundle those trees. Okay? So that is the difference here. So let's continue. And the question is calculate standard deviation. So how do we calculate standard deviation of this type of grouped data? How do we calculate standard deviation of this type of grouped data? So let's see what we are supposed to do. And I must also mention that in these questions, these are past exam papers where these questions are coming from. Now, you're going to see that on the cover, right on the cover here, the formulas are given. Now, I'll take you direct to formulas that concern statistics. Okay? So, as we can see here, my interest is on grouped data. Grouped data, to find mean, we have this formula. Okay? Then standard deviation, we can either use this formula or this one. We can either use this formula or this one. So I'm going to go with the second formula. These formulas are given in the exam. I'm going to go with the second formula. Now pay attention. Here we need what? The mean, x bar here. There's x bar here in this formula that we're going to use. There is x bar. What is x bar? X bar is the mean. So we need to use this mean. So look at the mean here. Mean has got what? The sum. This is summation of f of x over the summation of f. So those are things that we need because we are following this. We need summation of fx and summation of f, which is going to help us find what? Mean. Then we also need summation of what? F multiplied by x squared. All right? I hope you are following me. So now let's go to the table. We're going to use a table and see how we are going to draw this table. Take note of these parts that we need. We need this part, okay? F multiplied by x squared. Then we need also this part, fx, and the summation of fx and summation of. So these are parts that we need. So let's see what we are supposed to do. Okay. So the process that we are supposed to carry is very simple. The process that we are supposed to carry is very simple. The process that we are supposed to carry is very simple. Okay. Can take it up to there. So we need to have the first part here, of course. When we go back to our question, okay. Come and emphasize that later. Something that I'm supposed to emphasize here. Okay, so just like I was saying, the first part, on the first part here of our table, we need this part, okay? We need to put, this is always our x. This is always our x. The second one is always our f, okay? This is always our x. Now, where we have this case, like this question that I showed you previously, let me show you back again. I'll give you this. This is where you need to find your x. Since we have the range here, like from this point up to that, for our x, we are supposed to find the midpoint. For our x, we are supposed to find the midpoint. That's the only difference between these two questions. Here, your x is going to be, you add these two and divide them by 2. That is what you're going to use as your x, which is going to be the midpoint in this case. I have also made a presentation on this same thing, which is a lesson before this one, which I'm talking about. So I'm referring to it in case of those that have just come directly to this video. But for those of you that are following these lessons in their order, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. So we need our x here. And I've told you that in our case here, our x is what? These fruits per tree. Then our second part is frequency. Okay? Our second part is frequency, which is our f. Okay, then here, as you saw on the formula, we need the summation of fx. So we need to multiply these two. Then here, you also saw the part in the formula, we have x squared. I can take you back to the formulas. Here's our formula. We have this part where there's x squared here, isn't it? So we need to have x squared. After that, now we need to have f multiplied by squared, which is now this whole part here as it is in the formula. Okay? So, after that, I'll take you back to our question. And I hope you are following. So, you've seen what our x is, isn't it? Our x are these numbers here. The first ones. This is our x. So, we'll write them now going down. So, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are the x's here, which I said in the other case you need to find the midpoint. Then our frequency, we have the frequencies here. The one that goes with 2, it's 1. So here we have 1. Then the second one, 3, 5. Then 4, it's 4, it is 4, 5, it is 6, 6, it is 10, 7, it is 16, then 8, it is 18. I hope you are following. So, please, let's follow what I'm doing. Can we follow what I'm doing here? Can we follow what I'm doing? Okay, so let's continue now. Now, our x is here. Are you able to see our x? Our x is here, our f is here. Fx means f multiplied by x. Fx means f multiplied by x. So what is our f here? Our f is 1 multiplied by 2. So we're going to get 2. Then we do the same thing even here. Are we together? What is our f? Our f is 5 multiplied by 3, which is our x. We're getting 15. Let me go on just first with these two, just to... Then here we are talking about x squared. Please follow what I'm doing. Here we're talking about x squared. So we come back. Where is our x? Our x is 2. So you need to square this 2. When you square this 2, it means 2 squared. 2 squared, that is what it means. So this is going to be 4. So you get 4. Even here you square 3, which is your x. This is going to be 9. You go on like that. Okay. Also have... This is going to be what? When you multiply these two, they give us 16. Here you're going to get 16 again, which is the square of this 4. Then we go on here. Here we have to multiply what? Here we need to multiply. We need to multiply f multiplied by x squared. F multiplied by x squared. This f, what is our f here? Our f is 1. X squared is what? Is 4. So this is going to be 4. Then we come to this part. What is our f? Our f is 5. And what is our x squared? Our x squared is 9. Our f is 5. Our x squared is 9. So we need to multiply this f by x squared. Okay? We need to multiply this f by x squared, which is going to give us what? 45. When you come to this part, again, you do the same thing. Okay? You do the same thing here. You need to multiply this by this one. What do you get? Then that is what you're going to put here. Are we together? That is what you're going to put here. So, we have to continue the same process throughout up to the end. So, when we complete like the same process, we are going to have this kind of... You should compare with what you are getting. This kind of a table with these complete entries. All right. Then I'll take you back again to our formulas. I'll take you back to our formulas. The question is that we want to find what? We want to find standard deviation. We want to find what? Standard deviation. Now, the formula for standard deviation is here. The formula for standard deviation is here. And I said we are using the last one, isn't it? We are using the last one. So, we need to find mean first, which is x bar. We need to find mean, which is x bar. All right? We need to find mean, which is x bar. Then after that, we are going to get the standard deviation now. So let's see, find our x bar. Let's find our x bar. So to find mean, this is the formula that we are using. This is the formula that we are using. Now, from your table, these are given. The summation of f of x, where you add these from the top up to the last one. The summation, this is sum of, you have to add these. You compare what you got with this thing, 379. So this is going to be our 379 over 60. We have to divide. What are we getting? Okay, so what are we getting? You can look at my answer. You can look at my answer here. This is what I'm getting. You can compare it with yours. So you round it off to 2 decimal places here, which is going to be x bar. Our x bar is going to be what? 6.3 2, and you round it off to 2 decimal places. So this is our mean. In case the question asks you to find the mean, this is the answer for mean, which is the x bar. But our interest, we are finding mean because it's one of the requisites for the formula here. X bar, the last part. So we continue. Now we can come to our formula. Look at our formula. We can come to our formula now. I'll write the formula here. Okay? I'm going to write the formula here, which is standard deviation is equals to the summation of fx squared over the summation of f minus x bar squared, x bar. All right. Now, I must mention first of all that without this, let me first close this part. This formula here, because I need to put a root here, this formula here is what should give us variance. Just in case we are asked to find variance. Variance is this part here. Okay, variance is this part here. But when we put, or when we introduce the square root, that is when it becomes the standard deviation. But without the root, the square root, what we are getting is variance, because standard deviation is given by the square of standard deviation. We say standard deviation is equals to the square root of variance. Is equals to the square root of variance. I mean variance here. So without the root, what we are getting is variance. So now we are getting back to our formula. I'm going to say, what are we getting here? This part, we already got it here. So we are just getting the figures. What do we have? We have 2,559 divided by the summation of, are you seeing it there? 60 minus x bar. Okay. What did we get? We got 6.32 squared. Close. This is what is going to give us standard deviation. So we can, okay, so you can see this is what I've gotten. This is what I've gotten. I don't know what you're getting. This is what I've gotten on my calculator. Okay, so I'm getting standard deviation is equals to, I have put everything under the root there, so I've gotten this whole thing. So if I'm rounding it off to 2 decimal places, this is what I'm going to get. And in most cases, we are directed to leave our answers correct to 3 significant figures. So this is what I'm going to get here. Okay, this is what I'm going to get. This is what I'm going to get. So now I'll proceed to deal with the second part of the question. Okay. Now we are told answer this part of the question on a sheet of graph paper. So you don't answer standard deviation on a graph paper, please. So now we have this question. Using the table above, we are using the table above, which is this one. Copy and complete the relative cumulative frequency table below. The relative cumulative frequency below. Now look at the table closely. It has got 3 rows here. First of all, we have what? The fruits per tree. Then we have the cumulative frequency. There are questions that just talk about the cumulative frequency, which I presented in the previous lesson. Now, relative here, how do we present, how do we complete, or how do we construct a relative cumulative frequency? So first of all, we need to have a cumulative frequency. And a cumulative frequency, I'm sure you've seen how these were being added. These were being added, like the first one we have 1 here. The second one, this one was added to this one, we have 6. Then these two were added to this one, then we have 10, up to the end where we have 60. Now our concentration is this part. Please pay attention. So now to complete this part, we need to start dividing each one of these in the frequency. What? In the frequency, in the cumulative frequency, we need to divide each one of them by 60. So like this one, you divide 1 divided by 60. 1 divided by 60, you get this one. Okay? 6 divided by 60, you're going to get 0. 10 divided by, you always round off to 2 decimal places. You round off to 2 decimal places. So this 10 divided by 60, you get 0.17. You can confirm. Then 16 divided by 60, you get 2. You can confirm these figures. You can confirm these figures, okay? We can confirm these figures. Okay, look, like for this one, which is 16, this one, 16 divided by 60. This is what I've done here. Okay, you've seen? So we have 0.26660. So when you round off to 2 decimal places, that is where this one is going to come from. So the question says complete. So even this one was not there. So we needed to fill in these 1, 2, 3 boxes. So we are still going to do the same thing here. 26 divided by 60, 42 divided by 60. Then the last one is going to be 60 divided by 60, which will always be 1. Which will always be 1. Okay? The last part. So let's divide this one by 60, even this one by 60. And we write this one correct to what? 2 decimal places. So let's do that. Okay? So now we are on this part. So we are saying 26 divided by 60. Okay? So we do that. And you can see what I got. You can see what I got here. 0.433333. So that I'm going to just write 0.43. So that I'm going to write. Then here we have 42. We have to divide now 42 divided by 60. 42 divided by 60. This is what we have. 0.7. 0.7. That part has been done. This part has been done. All right. So this is what we're going to have. Okay. This is what we are going to have, and this is how it's going to look. Okay. This is how it is going to look. Okay. So we proceed. What is our next question? What is our next question? Let's read the question together. Let's read our question together, which is Roman numeral 2. Now we are dealing with a graph paper. Using a scale of 1 centimeter. Using a scale of 1 centimeter. Okay. Using a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 1 unit on the x-axis. Okay. Using the scale of 1 centimeter to represent 1 unit on the x-axis. For 0 is less or equal to, is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 8, and 2 centimeters to represent 0.1 on the y-axis. For 0 is less than or equal to y, is less than or equal to 1. Draw a smooth relative cumulative frequency curve. Okay? That is what we are supposed to do now. So let's do that. Let's do that simply. So we have this side. Okay. Here. At this point, horizontal, which is the x-axis. Okay. Did you read the question? Yes, we read the question together. And we are told that the x-axis, 1 centimeter should represent 1 centimeter should represent 1 unit here. Okay? And we should take note that here we are dealing with what? Fruits per what? Per tree. Fruits per tree. So this is what is going to be our x-axis, this one. So what we are going to have here, it's the fruits per tree here, down here. So we should take note. So if 1 centimeter is going to have 1 centimeter is representing 1 unit, so it means this 2 centimeters is representing 2 units. So I can say this is 4, this is 6, and this is my 8 here. That's all. We were told that we should go up to 8. So now we can divide, because we're told 1 centimeter should be 1 unit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where our 1 is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where our 3 is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where our 5 is going to be. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where our 7 is supposed to be. Just like this. Okay? Then we are told that going up here, going up, this 2 centimeters should represent what? 0.1. So we are going to have 0.1 here, 0.2 up to 1, 0.3, then 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. After that, where are we going? 1. Okay. Are we together there? So this is always our x-axis, the horizontal one, then this is our y-axis here if you want. Okay. So now after that, we need to plot these coordinates. Please take note. When it comes to plotting, the middle one is not working because we're dealing with what? A relative cumulative frequency. So we are using the first one and the last one. This is the x coordinate. So the first one is going to be 2, 0.02. That is the first one. It's going to be 2, 0.02. So we are starting from 2. And where is our 0.02? Now, I have to mention something here because here from 0 up to 0.1, we have 10 equal graduations here. Okay? We can divide this one. We can divide 0.1 by 10 because there are 10 of them. We're going to get 0.01. So it means when we are counting, the first one is 0.01, the second one is 0.02. So 2, 0.02, it's this point here. Okay? Then we go to the second one. What is the second one? It's 3, 0.1. 3, 0.1. 3, 0.1, it's this one here. 3, 0.1. 0.1 is this side. Then we go to the next one, which is what? 4, 0.17. 4, this is 0.01. So you start counting now. You start counting please pardon me, this point doesn't work here. So this is 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05, 0.06, 0.07. It's this point here. This is the point that we're supposed to use. This one here. Okay? Please forget about this point here. It's not supposed to be there. Okay? Yes, we don't need this point. Okay. So then we go to this fifth one, 5,2 point 5,0.27, 5,5, so this is 2 point, this is 0.21, 0.22, 0.23, 0.24, 0.25, 0.2, so it is this point that we want. 0.27, it is at this point. 0.27, it is at this point. All right. Then we go to 6 point what? 6,0.43. Our 6 is here, so we go up. Our 4 is at this point. So 4,1, 0.43, and 6. This is where they meet here. Then we go to 7. What is our 7? Our 7 is 7,0.7. This must be simple. 7,0.7. 7 here. You follow it, comma. Where does it meet? This point. 7, comma. Okay, so it should be. This is our 6, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 is here. This is where they meet, these two. Then the last one is 8, comma. The last one is 8,1. We are using this one, 8,1. So our 8 is here. We go up where it meets what? Where until to the point where it meets what? 1. And that point is no other than this one. Then after this point, what is the question saying? The question is saying, draw a smooth relative cumulative frequency curve. This part. So meaning we have to join these points. So for me, I'm going to use a pen because I want it to be very visible. Okay? How do we join? We can start from this point, or if you want, we can start from 0. It will come up here. Okay? Because there's nothing that is here, so it will come up like here. So we can start. It should be smooth. Okay? I don't want to make a mistake. The fact that I'm using a pen, it will not be easy to make corrections. Okay. It will not be easy for me to make corrections. Okay. So it will be something like this. I hope you are following. Something like this. It's going to be. Okay. So that is how it's supposed to be. You get 3 marks for this. Then we go to the next question. The next question is saying what? The next question is saying showing your method clearly. Showing your method what? Clearly. Use your graph to estimate the 70th percentile. The 70th percentile. Use your graph to estimate the 70th percentile. So here we're going to find 70% of the total of the relative cumulative frequency. So you have to multiply this one by 70%. When you multiply this one by 70%, what do you get? That is what we are looking at. Okay, that is what we are looking at. So of course, you know that when you multiply 70% by, okay, so it's like we're saying we need to multiply 70%. 70% is 70 over 100 multiplied by the total of the relative cumulative frequency. What is the total? The total is 1. Now, I'm just trying to make you understand this. What do you get here when you work out this? This will still take you back to what? 0.7. So 0.7 is the 70%, isn't it? 0.7 is 70% in other words. So now, this is not our answer here. This is not our answer. So we need to come to the vertical. We need to come to the vertical axis here. So, at this point here, we need to go to what? The 0.7 which we got. Then, what are we supposed to do? We draw a dotted line up to the graph. We draw a dotted line here, like this. Hope you are following me. Until it has this smooth curve. Okay, then again at that point where it touches the smooth curve, we drop another line straight down here. A dotted line. Okay. We draw a dotted line. All right. So now we are saying this is the 7% hour right here. What are we getting? What we are getting, we're going to get the answer from this part here. So what are we getting? We are getting 7. We have gotten what? 7. 7 what? 7 fruits. Because we are saying what we have down here, these are fruits. So we are having 7 fruits. That is what is going to be our answer here. But just to answer your question, if you want up here or somewhere here, you can say, okay, the Roman numeral 3 is, which is A, because I have 8, which is 7th percentile. This is 7th percentile here. You can write it that we got what? 7. At 7 trees. Then we're saying B part. B part is where I added, what did I add? Interquartile range. Okay. So what is interquartile range? Interquartile range. What is interquartile range? So interquartile range, I'm going to write it in short interquartile range. So interquartile range is equals to what? The upper limit minus the lower limit. The upper limit minus the lower limit. This is the formula for the interquartile range. So how do we find the lower limit and the upper limit? So this is the upper limit is 3/4. 3/4 of the total. What is our total in this case? The total of the relative cumulative frequency. The total, we are always using 1. So we get this 1 here. Please, this is 1. We are getting 1. So can you multiply this? What do you get? Then for the lower limit, we are saying it is 1/4. Remember when we were talking about quartiles, okay? We have the middle quartile here, then the lower quartile is here, the upper quartile is here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like this is 3/4. This one is 2/4, sorry. Then this one is 1/4. So this is the lower limit, the upper limit. Then the middle, or the middle quartile here. Okay? So this is the upper quartile, the middle quartile, and the lower quartile. So we are saying this is 3, this is 1. Okay, so now this one, because it is 2 over 4, it is always simplified as 1 over 2. All right, so here we are multiplying this by 1 again. So what do we get? That's what we need to simplify. So our upper limit is 0.75. Our lower limit is 0.25. Now these are not the final answers. We go to the vertical axis and let these lead us to the answers that we want. So you come here. Are we together? Where do we have 0.75? 0.75, we need to get it by, this is going to be 0.71, 0.72, 0.75 is here. So at this point, we again do the same thing. We draw a dotted line going to the curve. Okay. We come here. I hope you're getting me. Until we get this point. So this is our upper limit, which is Q3. Then again, I have to come down with this line that right there where it's touching this. So I'll come down here. Okay. I am going to come down. I'm going to come down here. Yes, so we come down. So now you are going to discover that again it will lead me right on top of what we got here. So it's like it will still bring me on top of this dotted line that so I'm going to write 7 here to bring me right on top of this dotted line. So that is our, then we come to 0.25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at this point, we need to draw a dotted line again here. We need to draw a dotted line here. Draw a dotted line here. Okay. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5. Okay. Now come down here. This same point, direct. Come down. Okay. So you will discover that we are coming straight to what? To 5. So the lower quartile is what? 5. And now here we're talking about fruits. So if you are getting, you can't get 5 point something, you can't get 4 point something. So you just have to get the closest whole number. The closest whole number. Okay? Like if it is going to be this point is what? Okay? You need to see that, okay, like here we have 5. So which one? You can't have 5 point what when we are dealing with fruits. So we need to go to the closest whole number. So here we have 5. Then now we go to our answer here. So our answer is going to be, what is our upper limit? Our upper limit is 7. You get 7 minus the lower limit is what? 5. What do we get? 2. And you should know that here what we are dealing with is what? We're getting these answers from this side. So we're talking about fruits per tree. So these are the, if you may need to know what these are. So that is basically what is there. And that is what we are supposed to do. Okay? That is what we are supposed to do. And we have the last question, which is something that I also just added. The median. I may not need to write it here. The median. The median, it's just like the middle quartile. It's just like the middle quartile. So this is going to be what? This is going to be like the middle quartile. The middle quartile is the same as the median. The middle quartile is the same as the median. So this is supposed to be 1 over 2, which is the same as 2 over 4 of the total, which is 1 in this case, because we're dealing with a relative cumulative frequency. So what is this going to give you? It will give you 0.5. So 0.5 you come here. Okay, you come here. Where do we have 0.5? Our 0.5 is this point. So you draw a dotted line, and again you come down. You get your answer from here. Okay, so as you can see, these others, I just added them. They are not part of the question, but at least I've explained what you're supposed to do. So basically, this is what is supposed to be our answer. So in the exam, this part of the graph paper carries 6 marks. The standard deviation carries 6 marks. Okay, so we are basically supposed to do 1 or 2 questions for the exercise. Yes, so let me give you one. We always give an exercise here. So the semi-interquartile range, the semi-interquartile range which you are being asked to do here. Here, just like I explained, the only difference is that your x, in this case, you need to find the midpoint. You need to find the midpoint here. That's all. The rest is the same thing. Then here the question is talking about the semi-interquartile range. So meaning, if in our case here, the semi-interquartile range, this part you need to divide it by 2. So you divide this whole thing by 2. Even this 2 was going to be divided by 2. So meaning our answer was going to be 1. So semi-interquartile range, it's this whole formula that we have here, then you divide it by 2. That's the only difference. I hope you've gotten this question. There is also another one here. Just in case you need some more. Okay. So this one is exactly like what we were talking about, the same example that we were looking at. This one's the same as that. Okay. So as you can see, usually here they just put one question. Usually here there's just one question here. Okay. So these are enough for practice. Or those of you that submit, if you want, you can submit all the 3 questions. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you see more videos. All right. Goodbye.